Hello and welcome to my first video in a new series I'm doing covering my escapades and project cars on the PC. This is the GT3 class and I'm in the Semi-Pro League, and this is me at the start. I did a couple of qualifying laps, like 5 or 6 laps. This lap put me on 10th position. I didn't really want to push too much further. I was quite happy with kind of mid-grid slot. Didn't want to be pushed too far up and then struggling with pace and race. So here we are in the formation lap, just getting away. We're going to do a rolling start, which is new for this season. And you can see that we're all taking it fairly easy. We had a shot of doing this in the warm-up, trying to make sure that we could get it all right. I think I fell back a wee bit far here, and everyone was taking it pretty easy though. Just after these red and white barriers on the right is the acceleration zone, so the guy in first place, ram drop, drops his foot and off we go. So you can see that we're heading down to turn 1. Guy behind me in the yellow and white car seems to want to come up the inside of me. I take it easy on the brakes, you don't want to hit anybody in the first corner, so I'll let him go. And massive socks, I think it is. There's a lot of jostling about, trying to give everyone plenty of room. Staying to the inside line, not weaving about the track as much as I can. Chapping them outside. I don't know the name of a lot of these drivers as yet because these are all new. I've gone into this corner, I nearly run into the back of that guy. I had to go wide. Braked a bit earlier than I expected. There's a bit of jostling going on, a bit of hitting. It looks like teammates hitting each other maybe. I think I should stick down to the outside of these guys here. Let everyone run through, try not to make any contact in the first lap. As the old saying goes, you don't want to race in the first corner. So you can see my tyre temperatures and my brake temperatures are pretty low at the moment. I don't really have great grip, so I'm assuming everyone else is in the same boat. Just try to take it easy, smooth steering, not being a hero in the first lap. Now people are taking out the braking markers coming up to these hairpins, first corner, etc. Made it really hard. This guy he got hit from behind there, you can see. I thought it was me that hit him because he ran wide. I came up the inside and I thought I'd clipped him there, but you look in the rearview mirror, chap behind bumps him from behind and spins him round. So that actually gives me a wee bit of space here. You got 1.5 seconds or so, just clear the guy in front, takes the pressure off, allows me to take my lines through here. That guy runs wide. Phantom Hamster is looking like he's struggling a wee bit with cold tyres as well. There's a chap in the gravel trap in the first lap there. We had some trouble with a couple of back markers, we're struggling to control our car, had lag, etc. So first lap done, out of the way. We managed to get through without any major incidents. I don't think anyone else had any major incidents. I think we all really wanted to try and have a clean first lap to try and make sure that we don't lose it first thing in the first corner. So now I'm starting to get my tyre temps up. That stopped him on. I'm sure he said there he'd ran wide and got a track penalty, so he had to slow down. Phantom Hamster ending up on the outside of him. I'm taking it easy while they're fighting, just watching what's happening. Slip up the inside of Phantom Hamster. I thought he might run a wee bit wide, but he's on the inside of me, so I need to give him plenty of room. Run round outside. Now he doesn't get a great drive off of this corner, and that means I'm getting under pressure again from Yurzigov, I think his name was. Sorry if I've butchered any names while I'm learning them again. I'm getting put under real pressure here, trying to take it easy, get the foot down here so there's a good acceleration up the back straight. Again, there's no marker board, so I'm trying to break in between the 150 and 200 metre board somewhere. I think that's when it is. Not 100% sure, but he's on the inside, but he's fell back a wee bit, so I wasn't too worried about that. But I feel like I think he's in a Corvette. I think he's just got more pace than me, and I can see he's coming out inside. I ran a wee bit wide there, so I give him plenty of room on the inside. He can have the apex, and he's switching to the inside, so I give him plenty of room again. Don't want to take him out, get a bad rap. let him go because I don't know what kind of pace he's got in comparison to me or anybody else. It's all new to everybody. I got a good run off the back last corner though, and I'm not sure what the top speed, straight line speed on the Corvette is, but I seem to have a good run on him, so I'll just throttle the inside here, try and make sure I get plenty of braking done. But I run a wee bit wide, struggling a bit, and he comes back at me. Just try to stick to the inside line, don't give him a run at me up the inside. Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton situation. Try not to brake too late. End up running wide. It's so easy to lock a wheel, and then you just want to keep the brake pressure on, but you need to let go of the brakes in order to get the grip back. So there we are. That says the first 4 laps are completed now. So I feel like I'm starting to get into a wee bit of a rhythm now. I feel like I'm comfortable with my pace. I'm not pushing. I'm just trying to be really smooth with my throttle and steering inputs. You can see my tyre wheel in the bottom right hand corner. I started with an awful lot of fuel. I'm not really sure why. My plan was just to have enough fuel to get me to the end of the first stop, but for some reason I've probably had about 55-60 litres of fuel. There's Phantom Hamster again, running wide there, struggling. And I think he's in a Bentley, so not really sure what the deal is with the handling of that car. I never really had a shot of it, but he certainly doesn't seem to be having too much fun. I'll have a look on the outside because I think that chap and the Corvette's wanting to have a go at me again. I don't know if it's faster through the corners or not. I certainly seem to have it on the straights when I get a good exit, but he seems to be able to catch me up through the corners. Yurzikov? Sorry about butchering your name again. We have a running battle throughout this race. Leads into some fun duking it out with this guy and a couple of other chaps round about my pace level. So up ahead, that's Stokemond being overtaken by the Phantom Hamster, and I think he was a similar pace level as well, but we'll see later on. I'll need to cut ahead at some point to see where we're at, because I don't want this video going on too long. You can see he's being held up a wee bit now that he must have made a mistake, let Phantom Hamster through. Now Phantom Hamster's gone a wee bit slow, trying to defend, try to hold him back, and I'm trying to get as smooth an exit as I can to get this straight. I'm not really super confident my braking points into this hairpin here. So whoa, again, there we go, just totally overshot my braking point there, but managed to kind of stay on the outside. How are we looking? Yep, he's clear, he's letting me go. So that was good. Managed to get round outside of him there, which is not something you normally do, but he was very fair with me, even though I slung it up the outside of him because I outbraked myself, to be honest. Now this chicane is really difficult with getting the power down on the exit of it without getting the wheel spin. You get the wheel spin, you get sideways, you get a bad exit of the falling corner onto the straight, so you really want to stay smooth as you can. At this point I'm checking my tyre wear, wondering how many laps I can get out of these tyres. We've got 2 times tyre wear involved for this new season. I've never been in any of the previous seasons, but apparently this is the first time they're running 2 times tyre wear. So with a 35 lap race, as you can see Phantom Hamster running really wide, let me get another run. 35 lap race, do I go up the inside? He's running wide, yeah, he seems to really struggle to get his car turned in. It seems to have understeered a lot, but that's me got past 3 of them now, so that's good. I'm up to P8 out of 23. I'm surprised that I've managed to get that far up, to be honest. I think I qualified 11th, it was. So yes, lap 6 out of 35, and I've got about a quarter of my tyre wear gone, so I'm feeling confident that I'll be able to get a good chunk of the race done before I have to come in for a stop. The suggestion that some people had that you could do a one-stop race, I think was just a little bit too much though. There's a chap run way behind me again. I think that was Stokemon trying to overtake Phantom Hamster. Slung it up the inside, but as they duke it out, you can see how far I've pulled the wheel. Two seconds clear of them all on the half lap while they're busy fighting it out. Normally they probably have a similar pace as me, but because whoever's in front's having to go defensive, the guys try to get around them. They're not taking optimal racing lines. Just let me just put the foot down here again. Now Kubak's about 6.5 seconds he was ahead of me. So we're going to skip forward to a few laps. We've got to lap 12. This is me caught up on Kubak. I'm right behind him now. But we've got this Dr. Mabuse guy. He's really struggling. He's got lag. He says he had 10 frames per second. He's playing with a controller. He stops, start. He's all over the place, and he keeps running into me. 3 times I lapped him in this race, and 3 times he hit me. And I think he hit everybody else as well, to be honest. In the whole,
he's absolutely,
the whole race, he was just. You can see him every mirror. He's really struggling to just keep it in a straight line. The lag as he jumped forward there. And at this point, you can see Omega 4 it is. I have a good race with him for the rest of the race as well. He's really struggling to get past him because he's all over the road, and the fear is that if you try and slide it up the inside while he's flying all over the road, you're going to get put into a gravel trap. So you really have to take your time, make sure you're clear of him. You can see he's fell back 2 seconds, just being so scared to get past this guy. Hopefully he'll fix his connection for next race if he decides to keep on going. But yeah, at this point, I'd caught up to 6.5 seconds to Kubak and try my best to save my tyres here. I've only got less than a quarter of my tyres left now after 12 laps. Never going to make it in anything less than a 2-stop race at this point, so I'm trying to just eke it out. I can feel already I'm running wide, I'm losing grip. I've never really ran the tyres right to the end of their life, so I'm not really sure how much grip you retain, certainly at this point, but I think yeah, I choose to come in at this lap because I was just washing out all the time. Getting understeer and all the exits of the corners is a sure sign that you're just running out of rubber. So I managed to catch up to 6 seconds on Kubok, but I've got 32 litres of fuel. I should really have cancelled my fuel that I was supposed to take on in the pit stop, but I didn't. I should have edited it here, skip forward to my pit stop because I sit here for like 20 seconds. We'll just cut it down because that's boring sitting watching it for 20 seconds. But you see, I fill up with fuel, then I change all my tyres, and it was 20 plus seconds. So by the time I come back out, all my hard work is gone, and you can see Omega's obviously had a pit stop before me as well, and he has came back out the same. If I hadn't taken on the fuel, I would have probably saved myself a few seconds and get to a few seconds ahead, but at this point it's still just a learning process for me to learn what the pit strategies are and how to even just, I've never even ran a race this long, so I'm doing my best to try and work out on the hop, we shall say, how to make the best of a race. And at this point we're at 14 out of 35. We've got new tyres on, so that's clearly a 2-stop race. I'll try and get to probably 26 or so, and then do the last 11 laps. But basically, just when I run out of grip, when I start to feel the car washing wide again. That does not mean, however, at this point, unfortunately, that I am in a position to make the most of the life of the tyres, because I'm just trying to keep it steady, to be honest. I just want to have as consistent lap times as I can. I don't want to risk running off the road, spinning it, try to get the power down too early or anything like that. You can see we've got Omega and me coming up on the back markers again. There's a chap in front of him, and I can't remember off the top of my head who it is. Again, I'm not great with names just after the first round. This is the first time we've all met, really. A couple of guys know each other from my previous seasons, but I I think there was a good percentage of new guys. I think that's why we're all been put into the third tier league, because there's quite a cross section of abilities, I would say, and speed at the track. So you can see there's Omega managed to get out the inside of GA89. He's really struggling, he's in a rough, but you can see he's washing wide. I don't even know if he's had a pit stop yet. He's lap 15. We'll be able to see if he runs wide. Yeah, just straight on, just no grip.
P19 and 20, any chance I can come through, please?
At that point, he was obviously struggling as well. I think there was a lot of folk were trying to push it to manage just a one stop. You can see this Dr. Mabus again.
Come on, don't try and hit me.
Omega 4. I think I just sneaked up and then said, I said they'd get hit 3 times, so we've taken him 3 times.
Yeah,
I managed to get away with that when he hit Omega, not me. Well, I think he pretty much hit everybody anyway, so. And at this point, you've got the other teammate, Counterbore, is ahead. I don't think he's really paying much attention to the flashing of the lights and the being lapped. It's kind of causing a bit of a roadblock, so we'd spoke on TeamSpeak to ask him to move a bit. I don't know if he was in TeamSpeak, I think he wasn't.
Yeah,
so he's just doing his own race, and he was struggling to. He's obviously focusing and trying to get his pace up, but I'm sure we'll be able to sort this out in the coming races in terms of race etiquette, getting out the way for people coming past. But because of that, I had a good run on Omega. Cut forward here because I was just. Oh, you can see that chap get taken out of Dr. Mabus again. I've just been running behind Omega. We were having a tussle. I got in front of him, he got back in front of me. Backmarker's getting in the way, so there was just, this video could have been on for an hour plus, and I really wanted to just cut it down. It's still probably way too long as it is at 30-35 minutes, but you can see I just slipped up inside of him there, just managed to make it. There's J89 that we'd seen earlier, that we were thinking hadn't come in for a pit stop, and lapping him, so obviously I hadn't come in for a pit stop. But I got lucky there. Omega just went a bit deep into the braking zone there, ran wide, and I managed to slip past. Now, up ahead, I mean I'm up into P4, I think that is. So I'm in a position where I don't think I'm really there on pace or on merit. I feel like there's a few guys that were faster. The guy that was spun in the straight, Paul, I think it was Colonel something. He was definitely faster, and there you see me getting a wheel spin next at that corner, struggling to put the pedal down because I'm under pressure now because I sneaked up the inside of Omega. But yeah, Paul, or Colonel McCoy, I think his name was, got taken out by this chap again. Oh, you can see I'm trying to get past them. Oh, it's just sitting in the middle of the road, getting in the way. Same with Dr. Mabus. Thankfully he went in the pits there, but that gave Omega a chance to get back up inside again. We had a good battle for the whole second stint pretty much. We were just nose to tail and just switching positions every time we came up on back markers. Now coming up you can see a guy who's right close to me, but I think, yeah, Omega got a wee spin on there. You see only just sneaked past. I see him spinning, I turned as hard as I could and I clipped him. I had a look to the right there as I was driving to see if I'd make it, but it was so close and so quick. He was sideways, but you can see on my pick crew's telling me I've got aero damage now, which kind of inhibited my handling a wee bit, but I didn't really feel the damage particularly. Just overall slowed my lap time a wee bit, and I wasn't the fastest as it was anyway, so I need all the lap time I can get. Unfortunately for Omega, he'd had a spin there. I think he was coming to the end of his stint, or his tyre life maybe. Coming into the first corner as it unloads when you start to climb the hill there, if you get the power too early, it's really easy to light up the tyres. And if you do that, you're heading in the wrong direction, so I think he was in an RUF or a rough as well. Pretty easy to light up the tyres in that car, I believe, so that gives me a clear run pretty much. Pressure's off. I'll have a check on my tyres, my temperatures, the various information here. I can see the guys who are actually faster than me have come out of their pit stop and are really hounding me now. They've got faster, newer tyres, they're faster in the car generally. So I know this isn't my race. I can see he's coming out and said I'll let him go because there's no point fighting with this guy.
So much mistakes.
Oh, I can't quite see his name. Pardeski. Sorry for the name butchering again, but I can tell he's not in the race that I'm having here. But I thought the guy to the right here now was along with him, and I thought I'm not really racing a guy, but it turns out it's actually Stockman, so I let him past. I didn't let him pass, but I didn't want to get in his way thinking he was racing with a chap up ahead, but I think I was actually more racing with Stockman than he was racing with Pardeski. So I can see, suddenly realise I've made a bit of a boo-boo here and taking it too easy and letting him get past. So I need to put the hammer down a wee bit and try and get back under him again. You can see he's taking slightly different lines through the corners to me. I like to keep it quite tight around that inside line, but I mean, I think you can have 2 or 3 lines through that corner, running through the middle of the corner, because a long continuous corner to the right there, it doesn't really matter. When you run wide out to the outside of the track, you're coming quickly across to the right anyway, so I think they're much, it's just personal preference for those lines. You can see I'm struggling to stay tight to the apex of the brow of the hill there. I'm starting to lose a lot of grip. I'm just about quarter grip on my tyres, quarter of the lifespan of the tyres left, and I'm P6 at the moment. It says P5 in the corner, Stokeman, but 4 up above his car, so I'm not sure if that's his driver number or his position. I thought it was his position. I might be just misreading the UI, because I'll be honest, I bought this game a week before I entered into the championship, so previously I'd driven in iRacing a wee bit.
Roger that, hit now, we'll be ready when you are.
It costs so much money to... Oh, guy throwing it on the inside of me there, but he backed off. G89 I think that was again. He's like a lap down, but he's definitely got the pace to be in about us, so I'm assuming he just maybe had a wee problem or a spin or something that ended up putting him that far back, but he should be round about us in pace generally. So yeah, iRacing I had subscribed to on and off for years now, but I've not really committed to buying packs or cars because it's so expensive, and I'm not that committed to these games. And again, I'm just skipping forward to the pit stop here because this is boring footage. You don't need to see this. Again, I was at 19 litres of fuel. I think I would have been just about enough to get me to the end. And I fill up again another 20 litres of fuel on top of that, which means I'm way too much fuel for what I needed to get to the end, so I lost some more time. Good few seconds I could have saved on myself. And even though Omega span, and when I was catching him a few laps before, you can see he's already 7 seconds clear of me here, which obviously is an indicator that my pit stop was about 8+ seconds too long, which is quite frustrating. But I mean, these are the mistakes that you iron out after the first couple of races. You learn how these things work. So at this point, I'm 25 out of 35. You really get a sweat on when you're doing these races. I don't know if it was just me, but at the end of it, when everyone was speaking on comms, they were all talking about how hard it was and how you're sweating. Not physically hard, but I don't know if it's concentration or whatever, but you really do start to sweat, which I was kind of surprised about, having not done a long distance race like this since
Blue flags.
played Gran Turismo 1. I used to do endurance races that were an hour and a half long, but that was when I was a teenager, so not used to that. Anyway, like I say, on lap 25 out of 35, and Omega 4 is a 7.5 ahead of me roughly, just under 7, and that's my goal for this race. I wanna try and catch him up. I've got 10 laps to catch up the 7 seconds that I'm behind them. Having raced against him in the middle stint, we seem pretty evenly matched on pace. You can see this guy. Look at the jerk, and I'm flashing my headlights to like let him know that I'm coming through. But like, you don't know which way to go, and then he hits the guy in front of me. Watch this back again. You see him jerking all over the road. He's back and forth. He's on the grass. You can't tell if it's he sees it like this or it's lag. I'm trying to go left and trying to go right. He's going every way I'm turning. All I can do is try and just save myself from going into a spin. I was quite fortunate just to hit the wall there and just keep myself in a straight line. He ran into Yurzakov in front of me as well, and then I nip ahead of him. Yurzakov ends up running well deep into that corner, just trying to get past that guy. It certainly made for an eventful race when you're trying to overtake. You can see he had a bit of lag there. I had a bit of lag, I should say, there as well. I don't know what that was, but that was the only time I'd seen any lag in this race. I'm sure it runs off of dedicated servers, I'm sure.
Not the best strategy.
Like that. Just runs off Project Car servers. Anyway, there was no other incidents of lag other than that one guy with a terrible connection himself. So, I had skipped ahead there, and Yurzakov was ahead of me, and my plan was to hunt down Omega, and I've obviously ended up behind Yurzakov. So now the plan is 28 out of 35. I've got 7 laps. I think me and Yurzakov are basically pulling each other along the road, pushing to get ahead, pushing to keep up, and hopefully we're catching the guys up ahead. Once we get through to the last few laps, we'll be able to see. I can't quite see how far ahead Omega is at this point, because obviously on my time screen it's got the split to Yurzakov, and not really, you can see
That kitty.
I'm maintaining a bit of similar gap. I feel like we've got similar pace as the long and the short of it. I've got loads of tyres left for the last 6 laps, but he lost it there, and you can see in my rearview mirror he's in the thing. He had a really unfortunate moment there where he just got on the power too early, and I thought I was going to have a real battle to get past him there, and fortunately I got really lucky with that slight misfortune on his part. There's another chap into the corner, and see, use the word chap a lot. I've never used the word chap in my life. Don't know why I've started calling all the racers here chaps. I'm sure they're nice chaps all the same, but we've got 4 seconds, 3 seconds up to Grobby.
How did it go?
I'm sure Omega got ahead of him. So we jumped ahead to lap 33. We were hunting down Omega, and he was 4 seconds ahead, but he's managed to get past this Grobby guy now, and he's 3.3 ahead of me. You can see the guys up ahead coming out the hairpin there. That's the positions that I'm really looking to try and catch, because I feel like they're all having a race for 9th, 8th, 7th, maybe even 6th position, and I have no idea what my potential race pace would be, but Grobby hits Omega there. You can see that if you looked ahead in the corner, he just dunked into the back of him, span him around again. Poor Omega has got his second spin in the race. I feel like we were ended up very close. If I didn't have my slow pit stops and you didn't have these couple of spins, we'd probably much our muchness at the end of this race. And you can see I'm up to P8. Yeah, Grobby's P7, but he's struggling with tyres at this point, definitely. He's all over the place in the McLaren, which is generally a good handling car. I had a shot of that. Got really close to him. I had a shot of that when I was testing to see what car to use, and it felt pretty good. I'm going to sling it up the inside. just try and hold on to it. I'm going to run wide, and he gets back underneath me there. And it's a last gasp manoeuvre, I thought, in the lap 34. But of course we've got the classics counter bore up ahead, and then the other back markers as well. So it's not all over yet. There's obviously plenty of opportunities coming up for overtakes. People might get held up just waiting for the back markers. He had the brake there, just coming over the crest. This gives me a run at him. He's not sure which way to go. Counterbore's doing well to stay far to the left now.
Oh my god.
He had a couple of moments there in the race, but he's getting up to speed with letting the guys through, no problem. I get the wheel spin there when I put my power down, but there, PNK ran out of tyres. You can see he ran wide, and then Groby tried to cut on the inside, and he just clouts him again, and then the two of them go off wide. He goes to the inside, Groby goes to the outside. They both make it back on track, but I suddenly went from P10 to P6 in 2 laps, which I am overjoyed about at this point. I'm thinking lap 34 out of 35, I've got 1 lap to go. I'm trying to keep it smooth. Starting to panic a wee bit. I don't have a lot of grip left in my tyres, but I feel like Groby doesn't either. You can see Stokeman's 21 seconds ahead. If I hadn't lost my time in the pits, I probably would have been roughly up about with him, I would feel, on just general race pace. But I just need to try and keep it smooth, keep it steady. It's been my mantra the whole race. Keep it smooth. No mistakes. I didn't really have any times when the car stepped out. At this point in my first race in an online league, I was actually a bit nervous. I was panicking because I just suddenly came into this 6th position that I was not expecting. I'm trying to just hang on to it, and you can see, thankfully, when I got through the first time check, I'm 2 seconds ahead of Groby, so he's clearly struggling with tyres.
How's my car doing?
I would think there's no way he would have lost 2 seconds otherwise. I know PNK was also struggling with tyres. That's what happened when the two of them clashed. He was saying he was driving down his rims because he only did 1 stop. I have no idea how you can manage that. You must have had no grip left in the tyres for at least 6 laps, because I couldn't get any.
Me too.
My tyres blew up. Barcelona.
Sorry,
just
I
really
have
terrible
no grip. Sorry, man.
at controlling wheel spin and leaning too heavy in the tyres. Maybe I need a bit of experience at that, but coming through the last few corners of the race, and I'm pretty happy. I'm through the chicane, trying to take it very carefully, don't spin it out unless it's at the very last corner. PNK's got ahead of Groby somehow, so I'm assuming Groby's lost it somewhere.
You race Nick off, that was
an 5 seconds behind me, and I'm comfortably over the finish line for a well-earned P6. Can I say well-earned? I was slightly fortuitous there, but yeah, that's the end of the video for my first race in the Project Cars Apex Online Racing GT3 League. Round 2 will be held at the Sakito GP circuit. So until then, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all later.